Hey, how's it going everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to some more Bannerlord mod spotlight news. Today we're going to be taking a look at the amazing Realms Forgotten mod, which is coming out with its brand new 1.2 update on the 7th of January, so in a week from when this is being uploaded. And now that 1.2 has finally released after what, 5-6 months, I guess less said about that but better, we're going to start to see a ton of the Bannerlord mods getting updated. I know Realm of Thrones, the Game of Thrones mod, is also planning their big update fairly soon, and I'm sure many other mods also have their updates lined up, so obviously make sure if you haven't already to subscribe to the channel. I'll be sure to go and bring you as much Bannerlord news as I physically can, as we should start to see a lot more mods being updated, improved, etc, with the 1.2 Bannerlord update. So Realms Forgotten, what is it? This is a mod, and I have to say it is honestly one of the most underrated Bannerlord mods out there. It definitely deserves way more people to be playing it, and I guess this is one of the reasons why I'm making this video, to show you the new update and all the awesome stuff they're doing, because yeah, the team are doing incredible work. Basically a basis for those of you who maybe never heard of Realms Forgotten before, it is a mod very much akin to stuff like Prophecy of Pendor, as the team are basically trying to create their very own fantasy universe, custom map, factions, armor, a very in-depth lore to the game, loads of cool custom dungeons and units and creatures from all manner of factions. The mod also has its very own custom quest line as well, with voice acting and just, yeah, really cool stuff. It's definitely a mod that should be on your radar, and definitely one you should be playing on the new patch for sure. So let's take a look at the new update, and I'll also glimpse over a few things that have maybe been in the mod for a while. So with the new update, we go ahead and get 2 brand new races. This does also come with a map expansion as well, which we'll get onto in a second. One of the factions is more about these kind of liberated slaves from one of the previous factions. There's a massive slaver faction in the game, and one of these new factions and I guess cultures are going to be kind of an escaping kind of I guess segregated part from that. And we also have this other faction right here, again, not even going to try and pronounce it, but these guys very much feel like an Aztec style faction. They have their own custom abilities here, which you guys can see, and their lore is all about that they were kind of like the original inhabitants of the world, and they've kind of gone into hiding but have now finally shown themselves to the rest of the map and are looking to do some pretty serious stuff. The mod also does come with custom factions and one brand new one. This is the new faction in the brand new update, and I like to call this one It's Not a Phase Mum, as you guys can see. They look really cool, a really nice design. They look great when they're cladded in armor, running on the battlefield. One thing as well that they actually have added in as well is that all of these different races have their own special abilities. So for example, if you take the brand new race, these guys raid way faster and they actually have faster campaign movement. I can't actually find anywhere on the wiki or anything else like that which actually shows me exactly what bonuses they get. I just know this one specifically because they brought it up in their update video. But yeah, it'd be great to kind of have somewhere where we could see all the different bonuses for all the different factions. But you guys can see them, and again, they look great, really cool. You can play as a half giant if you want to, and I mean, god damn boy. I think the undead also look really good, especially on the battlefield. But yeah, but it's super cool stuff, and they have just such a cool job. Like, this is so unique, and I'm really impressed with the style they've gone for. One thing I like as well is that you can kind of, depending on your race, your culture also dictates your starting equipment. So for example, because I chose this race and this culture, these guys are completely like looking like this in their armors, and you get a real good kind of like little glimpse of exactly what type of uniforms they wear. And I also love the attention to detail on just like the civilian clothing. It's something that is heavily neglected in a lot of mods because it's just not that important, but it just does so much and adds so much flavor when you do go into towns and you go into cities and you see all this awesome kind of design, and it looks great. Like this kind of Aztec style faction looks really cool. Another really cool thing about the mod as well, it does have expanded starts built into the actual mod itself, so you can really go ahead and customize how you start your own campaign. For example, if I want to go ahead and basically just be a tier 2 faction with a city right away and kind of get myself stuck into the world and fighting the other factions, you can do that by going ahead and saying you've acquired a castle. Look at the armor as well. Oh, it looks so good. They've done such an amazing job with this faction. You can be a vassal, and you kind of really go ahead and mess around. You can also be a wandering shaman, and just look at that horse mount as well. Yeah, that's something as well. This mod does something but I've not seen any other mod do as well. There are loads of incredible custom mounts in the game, from reindeer to like dinosaurs minotaurs to huge demons. Like, they do such crazy stuff with the mounts. You can see one in the background right there. And here we are on the campaign map, starting a brand new campaign, so you guys get a good little glimpse of the new faction. I love the design of this, and this new area looks really cool indeed. So if we zoom out, you guys can get the full glimpse of the map. So this is the brand new part. Again, it's not a huge map expansion, but again, this is like a very kind of a small faction which has been in hiding, and they have some really cool map design as well. I love this path into this land. Like, this is the only way in and out because there's no naval travel in the mod. So when you're like maneuvering around here, it looks super cool as you're like crossing into the depths of this land, and you really kind of get that sense of like exploration into the wilderness, and you start to see these huge kind of Aztec style temples and the massive carvings in the rock and stuff. It really just adds a nice lot of flavor into the mod itself, and yeah, really nice detail. Again, if you haven't seen the other parts of the map, so right here we have the slaver faction of the desert. They're going to have very kind of sparse settlements spread out throughout the settlements, but again, I love the detail right here of these settlements. It kind of adds that extra fantasy element. You have huge like kind of monuments in the like kind of embedded in the settlement itself. Kind of comes like Lord of the Rings-esque kind of feel right there. I know you have a huge statue all the way out here along this massive bridge into the imperial capital. The center of the lands, you have this huge forest covered by elven factions with their mounted deer and all their other really awesome equipment. Over here in the west, you have like the nomadic tribes maneuvering around, and are these factions individual? Oh no, okay, they're all under one faction. I was gonna say, it'd actually be really interesting if they were all individual city states, to kind of see what Khan comes out on top. That's actually a really cool idea, if I do say so myself. Over off into the east, you have the necromancers, and they basically live with like undead soldiers. They're super scary. They can basically bring in demons from other worlds into this world, and yeah, just do some crazy stuff. You can see their unit tree right here looking absolutely horrific. I love the armor of these guys. They are amazing. And then down here in the kind of west parts of the map, again, you kind of have, I guess, more of like an Eastern Sultanate style army. Again, they look really cool here. There are lots of kind of good weapons, and as I said, it's kind of like a mix between like Western and Eastern medieval eras. So again, if you like that style of combat, these guys are going to be great for you. And as I said, everybody has their own custom units and noble units and all that lovely stuff to really mess around with. So on top of all of that, we do have 3 brand new skill trees. These are going to be brand new to the update. So we have Faith, Arcane, and Alchemy. Faith is all going to be about, obviously, your faith to the gods, and they're going to give you certain bonuses, where one is going to be more of a pacifist side of things, which is all about healing yourself after battle and regenerating your soldiers after hit. You can see regenerating tons of wounded soldiers, so you can basically fight loads and loads of battles. The bottom ones are all going to be about just improving and augmenting your soldiers. The gods are blessing you, so increase the athletics of your soldiers by ×3. That's incredible. This one is increasing the combat stats by 30%. Again, this is going to be a very useful stat. Arcane is going to be all about your ability to wield magic in this mod, and the lore behind it. Magic isn't something that is readily available, so people don't just like inhabit magic and fire it out. All the magic in the world has been imbued into wands, so you're going to need to go ahead and improve your skills with them wands to use it. I will also mention as well that magic is a big part of the mod, honestly. They've added in tons of custom effects to the wands themselves, so when you are in battle, you're going to be seeing particle effects and all that lovely stuff flying around the map, and it can be pretty deadly. There's spells that do damage, there's spells that just ruin the enemy's morale, so if you're playing like an undead necromancy build, that is going to be a very effective form of magic to utilize against your enemies, just trying to break them with, huge swinging attacks and, deadly death magic. And finally, we also have Alchemy. This is going to be all about bombs and explosives, so you're going to be lobbing flasks of dangerous explosive materials and, black powder at the enemies to inflict just huge damage upon your enemy. And you can see they do some really crazy AoE damage. The top one's going to be all about AoE, and the bottom one's going to be about flat damage. So you're going to have to pick between, do you want to spread that damage, or do you want to just inflict a huge amount? We have also just got general improvements to the map, quite a lot of these extra added scenes, which again is just so important to mods like this. Adding in more of that lore, adding in more of that feeling is just really cool. One thing I will mention, and I will say this in every update for every mod I ever cover, is I would love to see more roads. I feel like roads are not so much a simple way of adding in a lot of detail. Obviously, it's extremely time consuming, but I think roads just adding so much flavor to the campaign map, giving like some factions like Imperial roads and some like being dirt roads. Like the elves could be very much dirt tracks everywhere, whereas the Imperials could be like stone roads. And as I said, I think it just adds so much flavor having, you know, kind of these positions going off like dirt roads to villages and an Imperial road going to all the cities. It's such a small thing, but it just all of a sudden just links the settlement together. And as I said, I will say this on every mod until I have it in every mod, god damn it. So already we have a ton being improved in this update, but one of the, I think, the most impressive features the mod does have to offer is their brand new exploration mechanic. This is going to be places that you'll be finding on the campaign map. You'll be able to dive in and explore them, and they basically function as dungeons. If people ever played War Sword Conquest in the Warhammer mod for Warband, this is kind of very representative of that. You're going to find these dungeons on the campaign map, and you're going to basically go in, you're going to be able to loot stuff that are lying on the floor, you're going to be taking on enemies as they try and stop you from taking all of this loot, and some of these actually do have kind of extra steps to them, which is just really cool. Like, you're literally going to be going around these custom maps, and you're going to be exploring them, and you're going to be going on to new parts of them maps once you've cleared the first area to get better loot. And this is such a cool way of kind of developing a system where you're going to be having like really powerful items at the end of that, taking on more powerful demons and bosses and other things like that, just to really kind of immerse you in the world, give you that sense of adventure, which I feel like this mod is just so much trying to do, give you that kind of immersive lore background. So it's a really cool mechanic. The actual custom, I guess, exploration areas are awesomely well designed. You're going to find that throughout this mod, that you're going to dive into a scene or a hideout and be like, oh my god, this is incredible, look at it. And I'm very excited to see what they do next with all of that, because I feel like it's a mechanic they could just really dive into and really improve and create like a full-on dungeon exploring kind of completely separate game mode to Bannerlord. Also wanted to just take some time to go and show off some of the amazing looking armors that they've got in the mod. There's so many improvements, and from when I last covered this mod, it has come such a long way. As you guys can see, so many awesome stuff, so many cool custom bodies as well. These are going to be some of the I guess, monstrous units, and yeah, I'm gonna have to definitely dive in. I mean, just look at this armor, it looks incredible. I really love the necromancy robes as well. I think that looks super cool, and there's just so many. Again, this is gonna be one of the monstrous creatures you're gonna run into, the Wendigo right there. Yeah, they've done such a big improvement to this mod, and yeah, I really need to dive in and mess around with it. And as I mentioned earlier, there is also a ton of custom mounts in the mod as well. Just to take a look at some of them as well, you have the ancient deer, the giant rodent beast, the horned beast, the moose beast, we have the cannibal dogs, the elven werewolf, we've got the dinosaur beast, you've got bears, you've got camels you can ride into battle, hell horses. There is really a complete ton of custom mounts. And as I mentioned, that is just like a small part of the amount they've actually got in this. Like, it's truly incredible. And that's just the weapon. That's just the armor. That's not including all the weapons. Like, look at that giant's hammer and the other beastman axes and stuff. Like, there is, yeah, it is just so expansive. They've really added so much to this. One thing actually that I haven't mentioned as well in this update, I know there's so much, right, is that there's also a brand new slaver faction. If they catch you, they're going to take you to a custom hideout and basically make you fight for your survival. You have to fight in a massive tournament. I believe there's 3 to 4 rounds of it, depending on how well you do. And if you end up losing, they take everything you have, which could be kind of frustrating, but it adds in that little bit of detail of just, hey, I'm just not going to get caught. And if you win, I think you get some cool prizes. But again, that's kind of just another cool little thing that you get taken to this random hideout and you have to fight for your release. Again, adding to that immersion, adding to that lore. And then finally, the final thing that I will mention in this new update is they have now added in custom battles, so you can mess around with all of the hundreds of units that they have access to across all 6 of the factions, and yeah, basically just have fun. So if you want to go in and play as a massive army of demons and half-dead villagers, necromancers, and anything else that you can really bring your soldiers to, you can now do that. Again, you can get access to all the units, all the necromancers, and you can well and truly get a nice little glimpse of all the units this way. So if you're undecided about what faction you want to play as, this is going to be absolutely perfect for you. Again, you can see right here the type of units we're bringing the zombie horses and some of the amazing looking vampiric knights that we have access to. I'll make my way over to the infantry for the undead. You can see some of their elite necromancers and other really skillful units. I mean, look at that unit behind that, the demon lords, looking incredible. And then if we make our way over to the other side, you can see the soldiers of Athos with their half-giant warriors and their other kind of vampiric soldiers. Again, I love this is like probably one of my favorite factions is going to be Athos, because I love that kind of warrior style. They're also kind of wielding war beasts into the engagement, which again just look absolutely insane. A half-dead villager just running forward. So yeah, hopefully this has been a good glimpse at the amazing Realms Forgotten mod. I'm hoping you guys can just see the pure passion and incredible work that these guys are putting in, and this world is ready to be explored. The new update comes out on the 7th of January. It is currently available to Patreons, and I believe you can become a Patreon for as little as like $1 or $2, so you can get access to that right now by just dropping, you know, $2 on the mod and start your brand new campaign, which is something, you know, I recommend you do. Supporting these guys, they invest all the money from Patreon back into assets and improving the mod, and it is a very small team as well. I believe there is only like 5 or 6 of them, so definitely not a huge mod team. So all the help that you guys can give them is going to be absolutely massive, and again, I definitely recommend you supporting this team for sure. Finally as well, if you guys want to see me maybe do a bit of a mini let's play or even maybe a stream campaign, let me know by dropping a like and a comment down below. Let's say if this video gets 500 likes, I'll dive in and we'll start a brand new campaign when this fully releases on the 7th of January. So you guys have until then to get this video to 500 likes. Again, I'll leave a link to their Discord down below in the description. I'll see you guys in the next one.